Hi everyone and welcome to Neuro Gym en ligne. I'm really happy to be with you with a new video, and in this video I want to share with you some tips and some exercises also that you can do to manage the spasticity in your legs. If you had a stroke, if you have multiple sclerosis, or maybe if you had a spinal cord injury. So spasticity is something that is very common in neurological disorders. And explain to you a few tips and that you can use to do exercises and manage spasticity in your everyday life. So I prepared everything to be done sitting. So if you're in a wheelchair, you can do it in your own wheelchair. There's no problem, no equipment, just you and your legs to do the exercises to manage your spasticity. So prepare yourself, sit well on a chair. But before, I invite you to do a thumbs up or a like if you like that kind of video, and also I invite you to follow us on our platform, so YouTube, Facebook and Instagram, and also you can share this video and our channel to people that might benefit from videos we are doing. So thank you very much for doing this. We come back in a few seconds. Okay, great. I hope you're well sitting with your brakes on if you're in your wheelchair. So before to start to do exercises and show you some tips, I want to talk a little bit about spasticity, because I'm pretty sure you know it's difficult to manage. As I said, you will need more than one treatment strategy. So you can have medication, you can have injection of Botox, for example, doing exercises. You can have splint that you put during the day or at night. There's different kind of things. And for this you will need different professional to follow you and help you with that. And most of the time the decision is made in a multidisciplinary team to be sure to really look all the aspects of spasticity in your life and your function, because like I said in the introduction, sometimes spasticity can help. Actually, it can be good to have a little bit of spasticity, even if it's really bothering. So spasticity, it's increased tone, and you can see it in the different ways. Sometimes there are spasms, like the legs is shaking like that. So if that happens, it's bothering you, remember that weight bearing is very good. So you can put your foot flat on the floor and press on your knee, press on your leg to calm the spasms. And sometimes it will be like a feeling of a very heavy or tight leg, and the leg will be stiff like that, will be an extension. It's the same for the upper body, but I will do a specific video for this. So it can be a bit different, and you can have more than one kind of spasticity at the same time. I think that is very helpful for the spasticity. It's stretching the muscles that are spastic. It's important for two things. One is spasticity. It's a stretching reflex. It's triggered not when a muscle is stretched. It's not always the case when it's internal. It's very complicated, but like to test spasticity, we will stretch, we will do a rapid movement and see the reaction of the muscles. So we say that spasticity is a reflex of a stretch. So if we want to reduce that reflex, we have to keep a good flexibility in the muscle. So when we will try to stretch it fast, it will be loose more and it will react less. So this is kind of the rule, if I can say it like that. And so this can be very helpful to reduce the reaction and the spasms and the spasticity. The other thing is, when you are spastic, you have a lot of spasticity. I will show it with my arm, but we were talking about the legs. If, for example, my bicep is very spastic, it will contract often and sometimes stay in that position for a long time. The muscle, the bicep, will not shrink but will reduce in length, and might be not able to be extended completely. So the range of motion can be reduced with time. So to keep flexibility in the muscles is very important too. So stretches in spasticity, when you have spasticity, is very important. It has to be done as often as you can. Another thing to know, I will talk a lot, I'm sorry for that. I think that is very important for you to understand, because with this knowledge and the little tips, you can change few things that you are doing at home in your everyday life to kind of to help to manage spasticity. So spasticity, in our brain, we have more control what is proximal, so closer to our trunk, so the hip, shoulder, and when we go further away from the trunk, the control is more difficult, and we have actually with paralysis, with spasticity, we have less control because it's more complex. So at the hip, we usually have less spasticity because we have more control of it, and when we go down the leg, the spasticity will increase. So at the ankle, it's usually where we find the most spasticity, the most spasms, and the muscles that are the tighter and the less control also. A lot of people with spasticity will have a drop foot, and it can impair function a lot. And for the leg, the spasticity is most of the time, but in some cases it's not, it's the opposite. It's an extension like that. So the calf will be very spastic, very tight, and we will be in plantar flexion like that. So what we want to do is to do a flexion like this, okay? So we want to do dorsal flexion to stretch the muscle here. So we will do it, I said that we will do everything in the chair. Just so you know, to stretch the calf the best is to be extended like that and to pull the toes and the front of the foot towards you. But for that you need equipment. I really wanted to show you tips and exercises that you can do everywhere, because sometimes you will have a lot of spasticity when you're in the car or after, or like public transportation, because it's bouncy a lot and it will trigger a lot of spasticity, and after that there will be a lot of spasm. So you won't have equipment with you, and you can do few things to reduce the spasticity and not worry about it after and go do your things. So what you can do is you put your foot behind, so your heel actually behind your knee, and you put some weight to stretch like this to have you see the angle here, it's reduced, so you are in dorsal flexion in that position, and you stay like that, okay? We'll do that 3 times. We will do one side, but if you need, you can do both sides. So you put your feet back and you try to put your heel down by pushing on your knee like this. You can, if you have contraction in your legs, you can try to push by yourself, and you will feel, I feel it like in my calf here, okay? Okay, so you put like that and you press, let's go. So actually it's doing also weight bearing, so it's a 2 for 1. This is very good. And also something I want to say, because I see that so often, I see people moving like that. So for a stretch, it has to be hold. You cannot, if you move like that, it's movement. It's not a stretching, a stretch. It's not long enough to give the info for the muscles to stretch, okay? So our body will adapt to what we ask them, to what we ask. If you put the muscle in a stretching position, if you stretch it, at one point it will, like the actin and the myosin will be stretched, and it will take seconds to kind of, oh, I feel the stretching, there's a strain, like something, someone asked me to release. So it will release, but with time, not very fast. So you have to hold on. And actually we are doing 30 seconds, but you can stay in that position for way longer. You can do it 2 minutes if you want, and you have time. Let's go, we do another 30 seconds. So heel back, you try to put your heel on the floor to do a plantar flexion. If you have a lot of spasticity, or if it's too much, if you're pushing too much, you might experience that you will go in spasms. In that case, relax, take big breath, and start again without pushing as much. It's maybe too strong, and actually when we have discomfort or pain, it will trigger spasticity. So it will be counterproductive. So remember, don't push too much, go slow, apply power, strength, but just slow, and go down, down, down as much as the muscle will release, okay? And the spasticity will go down, because you can have tightness, but it can be the spasticity there. So spasticity will go with a bit faster than the tightness, for example. This is a good way for me. Sometimes I don't know if my patient has is it spasticity or it's tightness, because sometimes both can coexist at the same time. But if I do the tricks I'm showing you, or the stretching, and woo, it goes very fast, most of the time it was spasticity. And also it can trigger again if I push too much, and I will know that spasticity is there. Okay, let's go, we do another one. And another thing is to take big breath. I said stress can trigger spasticity, and not you being stressed, but your body being stressed, and this can stress your body, your leg. But doing respiration exercises, taking big breath and calming all your body can help also to calm the stress that your body kind of experience. Even if you say, no, I'm not stressed, your body experiencing a kind of stress. Okay, very good. So if you like that video, please do a thumbs up or a like. Also, if you like this content and those kind of video, I invite you to follow us on our social media platforms. So you can follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And on this, sincerely, I want to thank you to follow us, to do the exercises with me. I hope all those tips and exercises will help you. I will do more for sure, because I know it's a problem that many people have, and it can impair a lot the life and quality of life. So I want to give you some tips and exercises to help to manage it and help you to live a better life if you have spasticity. So on this, I wish you a wonderful day, and I'm looking forward to see you in the next video. Bye bye.